Excited to chat with you as I do my base face of makeup. I still have loads of things to do today, so I figured I'd come on in my Christmas sweater. It's such a fun, quirky sweater, but for me, anything teal, I'll get it. I don't care if it's like completely unnecessary, but I have needed a fun Christmas sweater, and when I found this Christmas sweater that had a cactus with cute little like holiday lights on it, I just had to get it. So join me as I get ready in my Christmas sweater. That is teal. That makes me so incredibly happy before I tackle some of my to-do list before the kids come home. My kids are actually in school through tomorrow. So tomorrow is December 23rd. They have a half day, which really goes until 1 o'clock. So it's not really a half day. It's most of a day. But we got to be doing that. And then we have tests for, the panorama that we have to do before the holiday, and then it's time. Then they're home, then we're rocking and rolling. So I have got some last minute stuff that I need to tackle today. I would love to know what is still on your to-do list before the holiday, before holiday break, all that kind of stuff. So come on in and keep me company as I get things ready. So I've already done my skincare. I did some SPF, of course. I'm actually using my Prime and Set Mist. This was part of my holiday bundle. It was a limited edition item. So I used that as my primer, as my face primer. I'm going to see how it rocks and rolls today. But I did spray that all over. And one of the big things I love to do is to let primer sit on your face a little bit to fill in those pores and fine lines and all that jazz before I tackle anything else. So I am going to go and do a little bit of eye concealer on my eyes to help neutralize that. And yeah, rock and roll. So come on in, as I said, say a little hashtag, hello lovely. Taking my Skin Solution Concealer. This has skincare built inside of it. Really is great for those of you who are having issues with darkness or fine lines, and you really just kind of want to brighten things up around your eyes. If you're trying to brighten, I would do 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. So I just take a little bit right in that inner corner of my eye. I do use wonderful eye cream that I have at minutewithmary.com, and I apply that, on my freshly cleansed skin. So I do have all of my skincare going on, and I'm really excited because in the new year, I'm actually going to be starting a liquid collagen shot. So our bodies, after about the age of 35, your body stops producing collagen. And collagen is really kind of your fountain of youth. It keeps your skin nice and youthful and glowy and supple and all that good stuff. So I've been doing some research and stuff about different little ways that I can take some collagen to help kind of heal from the inside out. Of course, you can always do your makeup and you can always do your skincare. I always tell people, if you've got issues with your skin, let's really work with your skincare. But then, you can also be taking some certain things. So I'm really, really pumped to start this new liquid collagen routine. And I'll be sharing with you all my results and everything. But next year is going to be a year that I really, really take care of me. After this year of craziness between the miscarriages and Blake getting sick and everything, I'm ready. I'm ready for a little bit of pick-me-up from Mary. All right, so look at that difference. Look at that difference. This is one of my must-haves, especially for those of you who are makeup minimalists. Maybe you have to wear a mask, so you don't necessarily want to have on foundation and blush and bronzer and all that kind of stuff, and yet you feel like you look tired. I mean, hello, it's the winter solstice today, the shortest day of the year. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling really, really tired right now. Just a little bit of that Skin Solution Concealer, and I use an eyeshadow brush. This is a blending brush. It just really brightens. It gets rid of the discoloration, the veins, the freckles, that darkness under my eyes, and in the meantime, it also has skincare built inside of it. So to me, it is a win-win. All right, let me just pull up my phone. I want to make sure that I can see comments because I gotta tell you, friends, sometimes Facebook's been a little crazy for me. So I want to make sure that I'm rocking and rolling with you. Yeah, there are comments. Silly Facebook. Hi, Bailey. How are you? Hi, Taylor. Hi, Elizabeth. Hey, Dina. How are you? She said, I managed to finish errands minus grocery store. I've wrapped up finishing all kinds of baking a cookie. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Dina. Hi, Sandy and Nicole. So everybody, tell me, are you done with your errands or are you still tackling them? Let me know in the comments now that I can actually see comments. And can you see the difference of this amazing concealer? I mean, it's a game changer. It's a game changer, and I'm just wearing my crazy Christmas sweater. And that's why, there's so many people who do makeup tutorials, and it's full glam, all these multiple steps. And I'll be real with you, that's not always my style. I love to spend some time and get made up. I love it. You know, I love playing with makeup and being creative, but I'm a busy mom, okay? And I don't really go anywhere. It's so funny. Someone was talking to me the other day and they're like, "Oh, how often do you see your friends?" And I'm like, "In real life? I don't know that often. I wish I saw people more often in real life, but a lot of my friends are all over the country. So I see people over Zooms and over, different internet chats or Marco Polos or whatever. And then my friends who are in real life, honestly, I don't get to see them that often. A lot of us, we have our own families, and between all the quarantining and stuff, a lot of us haven't been able to see each other. And then a lot of my friends are musicians. So musicians this time of year with all the different Christmas concerts and, whether they're teachers and they have concerts or whatever, just very busy. But so needless to say, I don't go out much, friends. But my makeup is for me. My makeup is for me. It's to help me feel a little more pulled together, look a little less tired. I don't know, it just does a lot for me. And I gotta tell you, on the days when I need quick errands or I'm just around the house or I have Zooms, concealer is one of my musts at this point. When I was 20, my must was, mascara and a little bit of a lip color. As I've gotten older, I'm 39 going on 40. I gotta tell you, I still think mascara is one of my must-haves. Concealer is now up there too for brightening under these eyes. But to me, it just makes a big difference. The rest of my skin, yes, I still have, my pores, my age spots, but for the most part, my skin is pretty good. I take really good care of it. And I just know that I feel like I'm Sleeping Beauty. Like I just slept for several decades when I've got a little bit of concealer on. So let me know your thoughts too. Hey there, Monique. How are you? Hey, Tammy. Great to see you. Nicole says, I finally have convinced my husband to watch Outlander with me, and I'm going through Outlander cast at the same time and loving it. Yay, that's so exciting, Nicole. Hi, Laura. Hi, Felicia. How are you? So put a little bit of that concealer on. I'm going to do my super simple eyeshadow later today. I think I might actually do an eye look separate off camera. So we're just going to do simple basic face right now, errand face. All right, so I've done that concealer. I'm telling you, if you have discoloration on your eyelids, which so many of us do, whether it's redness or veins or freckles, put a little bit of that concealer on your upper eyelid. Even before you do your eyeshadows, it's going to make a great base for it, really help brighten things up, make you feel super young, bring it all the way up underneath this eyebrow. That's going to help lighten things up and give you this nice little lift to your face. Game changer. Absolute game changer, my friends. All right, so I'm going to go in with some foundation. Whenever you use a liquid or cream-based foundation, I don't care if it's BB Flawless BB cream, liquid foundation, spray foundation, always give it a really good shake. Always shake it up, baby, like a Polaroid picture. You always want to do that. Think of all of your liquid and creamy-based skincare and makeup like a salad dressing, okay? For it to be its best self, you got to shake it all up every single time, just like salad dressing. All right, so I'm going to be doing some of my liquid foundation with a kabuki brush. Yeah, so my shopping is mostly done. Let's see, I have just one thing. I thought I was all done, and I realize I'm not done with one thing. I highly doubt my mom will watch my live, so it's my mom. I'm like, I highly doubt it. She might watch it right now. So Mom, if this is you watching, turn it off. But I wanted to get my mom ice skates. My kids ice skate and they love it, and I have ice skates, and my mom, God bless her, she doesn't have her ice skates anymore. My mom used to ice skate with me when I grew up. We would just go on like frozen ponds and stuff back in the day when, the world wasn't a million degrees hotter than it is supposed to be, but also we would just go skating on little like ponds and everything when it was approved by the fire department. We were safe. But she doesn't have her ice skates anymore. And she says that I lost them. But she's a size 8 foot and I've got a size 10 foot. So I highly doubt I lost them. But that being said, with my kids being, ice skaters, I want her to be able to go with them. I want her to enjoy it. She's someone who, she doesn't love the cold weather that much. So she's not really out and about in the cold. But I think if she was going ice skating, it's a different kind of venue. And it's something that she'd feel comfortable doing with the air circulation. It's usually a big place. There's lots of outdoor venues too for ice skating. So I wanted to get her ice skates. So I'm gonna go and grab her those. I might even go just to like a secondhand shop that we have here. And that's where I got my kids' ice skates. And honestly, secondhand skates, you kind of can't go wrong sometimes. Like some people barely use their ice skates. You know, they might use them maybe once or twice a year. So I might go get that. And if I don't find good secondhand ones, I'll get her new ones. But yeah, we're gonna go check that on out, but I keep forgetting to do it. And luckily it's in a spot that isn't on the main shopping road, so I'm not gonna be in too much holiday traffic, but I have to do that. So that is the errand that I still have to do. All right, so I just did a little bit of foundation. You could see it toned things down, made things nice and even on my skin. I am getting to that time of year where I have to make the choice to either embrace how pale I am or use some tanning drops to kind of add a little bit of color in. Right now I'm embracing my paleness, but you can even see my neck is like super, super light. So I can probably even now go to a lighter shade of foundation at this point. So if this is you, if you notice, oh, I'm you know, alabaster like Mary, one of the things you can do if you don't want to switch your foundation shade is just make sure you're using your lighter concealer. So I'm just going to take a much lighter concealer, pop that to brighten underneath my eye. You can see right there. And then another tip, because this is like where the difference is usually seen, you know, and it's honestly, I'm like half a shade darker on my face than on my neck at this point, so I'm still okay. But if you're finding that it's much darker than your neck, you could take a little bit of your concealer and lighten up underneath your chin bone. This is almost like a reverse contouring. So I'm just using a lighter shade of concealer, but if you have foundation, you can do that too. And this will help sharpen that cheekbone, which a lot of people do with more of like a bronzer or whatever, but that just kind of still lightens it up so it blends a little bit more seamlessly. So that's a little tip for you. If you have a lighter concealer, your foundation looks like it's not matching as much right now, you can either get the proper foundation for the dead of winter or do what I'm doing right here. As I said, I'm calling it a reverse contour. I am not a complete makeup guru. You guys all know this. I'm just a woman who likes to play with makeup and likes to share what I have learned over time, and this is something that has worked for me. So rather than taking a crazy amount of bronzer, you know, and contouring that, I'm just calling it a reverse contour. And you know, it's also like a highlighting, but for me, kind of going underneath that cheekbone right there and that helping blend into it, now I feel much more natural and my cheekbones get a little bit of that pop. Hi Stevie, how are you? Are you all done with all your Christmas, you know, shopping and planning and all that kind of stuff? All right, now I've put a little bit of that light concealer underneath my eyes. This is actually my lightest shade. It's called Marquisette. It's almost white. It's crazy, crazy light. But if you are, you know, very, very light like myself, this is a great highlight shade to really help add that brightening. And I am using, once again, just that little blending brush. And whenever you use a creamy based concealer like mine, I am going to suggest that you set it with some type of a powder, like a setting powder, a neutral or skin tone shade eyeshadow, or even your skin tone, excuse me, your skin tone shade of powder, of regular setting powder or pressed powder. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that powder right there, lightly dab it in here and just do a light dusting. Because your cream, any kind of cream-based or liquid-based products have that light dusting. Setting powder, some kind of powder, that's going to help lock it so it doesn't shift on top, okay? Just think of it as like a little tectonic plate. You don't want it shifting or moving too awfully much. Nicole says, how often do you wash your brushes? Awesome, awesome question, Nicole. So if you use your brushes every single day, you know, if you're someone who wears foundation every single day of the week when you're going to work or, you know, anything like that, you should wash your brushes once a week. Particularly your foundation brushes. You know, if you're using like liquidy, creamy products, you're rubbing it all around, all those pores and all that kind of stuff, you should wash those once a week, particularly if you're using it pretty regularly. Your eyeshadow brushes, So, like, if you're trying to be the clean, proper person, as I said, once a week is the ideal amount of time. I cheat when it comes to some of my brushes, and I have an amazing brush cleaner on my site that cleans, disinfects, and also allows it to be dry. Because when I wash my brushes and I do it properly, I take it into the bathroom. I've got like a little mat that I scrub them on, and I use actually baby shampoo, just like a Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. I'm going to really get inside those bristles, but then you need to let them dry. So you need to let them dry overnight. What's great with this brush cleaner is it cleans and sanitizes, and then it also allows them to be dry right after. So when it comes to more of my eyeshadow brushes, I just use this, right before each use, particularly if I'm changing color. So if one day I did a pink eyeshadow and then the next day I'm going to be doing a green eyeshadow, obviously those colors don't mesh well. I use a little bit of this brush cleaner, spray it on the brush itself, and then I just rub it back and forth either on a towel or a paper towel, and then it's good to go. In a pinch, you can do this with your foundation brushes too, but on the flip side, you're getting like all your skin cells, all that makeup and stuff inside these brushes. So once a week, if you're using it very, very frequently. If you're less frequent, every other week, but definitely like minimum at least once a month. So, that just really helps make sure that it's good. I've had a lot of friends over time who never washed their brushes, finally, and their skin cleared up. And they realized that they were just using like dirty brushes to apply their makeup. And obviously it's not going to lay on your skin that well when it does it. It's gonna make it look more streaky because it gets all just think of your brushes almost like hair, like it becomes like dirty hair, and it's gonna be kind of yunky and chunky and stuff. So minimum once a month. If you use your brushes pretty regularly, at least every other week. And then if you use them really regularly and you really want to have optimal brush health and skin health, once a week if you are a regular user. If you're someone who doesn't really wear makeup that frequently, you can kind of play around with those dates. And as I said, just get yourself this brush cleaner and that will help as well. So I did that liquid foundation. So I'm just taking now my pressed powder. As I said, I like to set my liquidy kind of makeups with a little bit of powder. It just is something that works well for me. I find that it helps diffuse the look of my pores a little bit more because it kind of tones down that shine, and it locks things in place a little bit more. Hi Lisa Ann, how are you? Good to see you here, my friend. I've been thinking about you a lot, particularly as we're ramping up for the holidays. So know that you've been in my thoughts and in my heart right now. I know that it can be a tough time of year. So I've just kind of added that little light dusting. The cool thing when you do a little bit of a pressed powder on top is it amps up the coverage a little bit more. So if you are someone who, you're going to holidays or you really need like a long-lasting wear, doing a creamy or liquid base foundation with a little bit of powder on top, I'm telling you, game changer. Absolute game changer. Hi Dorinda, how are you? Thanks for the hashtag. Hello lovely, great to see you. All right, so we've got this base face of makeup going on. As I said, I have a little bit of errands to do today. I'm hoping that I can podcast later today, trying to get some long-lasting makeup going on. I am going to do a little bit of my bronzer. So I did show how I do what I have deemed a reverse contour using a little bit of light concealer, but I am going to do a little bit of a contouring right now just with this light matte bronzer. So when you're contouring, you're carving out some angles in your face, you're adding dimension back in. It can help slim your face down a little bit more or add a bit of a lift or fullness depending upon how you're doing it. So the way that I do it is I go right underneath that cheekbone and kind of blend upwards a smidge. This carves out my cheekbone, slims my face down, and adds that lift. All things that I find make me look a little bit thinner and more youthful. Nicole says, which podcast are you working on today? We're going to be working on Potterverse. We have had illness in this household. It has been crazy, the amount of things that we've had to juggle and the delays. And I was thinking about it today and I'm like, oh, how fitting that we're doing the Yule Ball episode during the week of Christmas. So henceforth why I'm wearing my crazy Christmas sweater. It's anything teal is right up my alley, but especially a Christmas sweater in teal. Now you're talking. Now you're talking turkey. So we're going to finally be tackling a little bit of the Potterverse and getting things back in motion, slowly but surely. it's going to be interesting to see what we can accomplish podcasting wise over holiday break with the kids home, but we're just doing the best we can, and we just appreciate those of you who are podcast listeners. We appreciate your patience with all of this. As I said, we've been having a lot of quarantining, and Blake hasn't been well, and so it's been a lot. It's been a lot the past month or so, or honestly this past half year. So I appreciate any and all patience that you have had. So this is my matte bronzer in the shade Fair. It looks a lot darker in the pan than it is on here, but you can just see I added like a little bit of that dimension here. I went around my hairline. I do have a rather large forehead, so when I'm not doing, a swoopy bang kind of thing, I like to add a little bit of that dimension right around the hairline there, just to slim things down a little bit. And then I'm going to go underneath this chin bone to help diffuse the look of a second chin. Christmas cookies. They're my nemesis. Actually, they're my best friend. I love Christmas cookies. They're so, so good. And then I am going to do a little bit of contouring down the side of my nose as well. Hi, Caitlin Marie. How are you? Great to see you here, my friend. Lovely, lovely to see you. So yeah, aside from getting my mom her final present, we're in pretty good shape. I almost feel guilty getting them for her because we had a talk about how we might not be doing presents for each other this year, and we're going to instead do an experience in the new year together. But I really want her to have ice skates. So, and I feel like when you feel compelled, when you're like, I really want someone to have this, then you just break the rules and you get them anyway. So I'm the only person in my family who buys her a gift anyway, essentially. So I need to. My brother doesn't do gifts. He just doesn't do gifts for one reason or another. And then my sister is severely disabled, so she can't shop or anything. So it is up to me. So I feel like, you know what? If I'm compelled to get her something, even though we said no gifts, I don't think she's going to be upset. I think she'll be happy. All right, so we've got that contouring going on. I am going to add a little bit of blush. Once again, for those of you who, sadly, are going to have to be wearing masks a lot, if your mask covers this area of your face and you're not really showing that area of your face, don't worry about it. But on the flip side, if you're working from home or if you want to wear it, here's a couple of my tips. So when you're thinking about your cheekbones, and if you want to add that lift, that dimension, that youthfulness to it, I want you to think about Neapolitan ice cream. So chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. I love Neapolitan ice cream. So good. So your contouring is that matte, darker shade right here. Then you're going to have some of your blush, and then you're going to have some of your highlighter. So the highlighter I'll show you in just a moment because mine came in. I'm so excited. But I am going to be using the shade Sisterly. This is my favorite, just natural flush shade. It has a little bit of a luminosity to it too, which is cool. Hey Stevie, thanks so much for checking in. Caitlin Marie says, what is my favorite Christmas cookie? Great question. I love Snickerdoodle. I'm a huge cinnamon fan, so I love me some Snickerdoodle. And then I'm a huge fan of just the basic peanut butter kisses, but we like to do them in the mini muffin tins with the peanut butter cup inside, so it's more like a little chocolate peanut butter cupcake. Oh, so good. And the other one, which I'm thinking about making right now, is this, I think it's a German or Dutch cookie called Jan Hegel. So Janhagel. My mom used to make them when I was younger, and they're almost like this thin, crunchy cookie with almond slivers and sugar on top. And they're just super light and yummy and full of almond flavoring. And she hasn't made them in years. And I have told myself, I'm going to make Jan Hegel. So wish me luck. I will say, I'm really good at baking my staples. But when I make something and it doesn't go well, I'm not in a good emotional place. And I think that this is why I'm not a great cook, because I know part of it is trial and error. So part of it is you try it and you say that part was good. I need to tweak this and add more of that spice or let it cook longer next time. I don't have the patience for that. I'm like, I spent time and money and it's not perfect. What's going on? And I think that's part of the reason I like baking over cooking. Cooking, you can improvise a bit more, but that also means there's room for error. And baking is super scientific. You know, you need the exact amounts. You need to know, is the butter at room temperature or is it chilled? All these different things where I feel like I'm in Harry Potter potions class and I feel like I would have done very well in potions. So baking I'm generally good at because I like to follow the directions to a T. And if I follow the directions to a T and it doesn't come out right, oh man, do I get upset because I don't know what went wrong. So I had made a pinwheel cookie recipe 2 weeks ago and it came out wrong. It came out wrong. Now, some people suggested that maybe my baking soda was old. So I went out and bought new baking soda and hopefully it will be okay. Hey Meg, how are you? Great to see you, my friend. All right, so I just add a little bit of that blush. As I said, I'm super pale right now. I love this shade. It kind of gives me the coloring that I get if I go outside on a brisk winter day. And I've applied it above that bronzer area. Right now, I'm not applying it anywhere closer to my nose than underneath my pupil. So kind of like underneath the pupil and up. So you can see this area, it's just giving that beautiful young lift. If you feel like you've been eating a few too many Christmas cookies and your face is looking a little wide, I'm telling you, doing more of this upward motion with your blush rather than on the apples of your cheeks, it's gonna help slim that face, add a little bit of that lift, which I am here for. I'm definitely here for. All right, let's get some luminizer, or highlight, I should say. Mine just came in the mail. It was part of my holiday bundles, and I hope that they come back as a core product, as I really, really want them to be something that you get to rock and roll with. But the cool thing with highlighter is you can use eyeshadows. You can use things that have a little bit of a shimmer to it. Megan says, I'm the opposite. I love cooking, but met on baking. I love the creativity. That is awesome, Meg. That is, see, we should just hang out in real life. Like if we could transport to each other's house, I could do the baking, you could do the cooking, and we would be very happy. There's a couple of things that I'm really good at cooking. I make the best chicken pot pie. And I make a really good gluten-free, dairy-free chicken pot pie. Who knew? But I can. So that's one of the things I can make. But yeah, baking's kind of my jam. Except the pinwheel cookies. I messed that up. All right. So cool thing that I just realized. So my bronzers, as I said, my matte bronzers are great for contouring. And I just realized this right now. The bronzers have a matte case. And the highlighters have a shiny case. So it's going to be easy for me to find inside my little makeup drawer, which I'm pretty pumped about. So we're talking about adding that lift, slimming down your face in case you're feeling a little puffy with all the Christmas cookies that you're having. And you can see, once again, I don't look like super duper made up. I don't look like I have layers and layers of makeup on, but my goal is to have a more lifted, youthful look. As I said, as I go into 2022, I am going to be starting a collagen routine as well, which I'm really excited to kind of share with you to help from the glow from the inside out. And that's going to help with that youthfulness and glow as well. But one of the other things you can do is use a highlighter. And a highlighter catches the light of your face in the different little high points. I'm going to be using one that is more of like a silvery white shade right here. But you can do this, as I said, with eyeshadows. I'll share with you one of my favorite eyeshadows. I've got this palette right here, Moodstruck Beloved 3 on my site. And I love to use even like this kind of white silvery shade right here for a highlight. So if you have any of those kind of eyeshadows, you can try this highlighter technique out with them as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to take some kind of a fan brush. So that's one of these little ones. Or you could take an eyeshadow brush, even like one of those little blending brushes that I used for my concealer. Something that is a little light. You don't want a densely packed thing. Bailey says, Megan Barber, it's so good. Oh, the highlighter is life. I'm so obsessed. Yay. Rachel, thank you. I was thinking of you, Rachel, because it's a cactus. It's a Christmas cactus when I put it on. So excited. So here are the different areas that I like to highlight my face. I'm just going to take the fan brush right here and just kind of lightly sweep it in. This is almost like a creamy, soft powder. You can see it. It's just so, so beautiful. This is my shade Frosty. It does come with a mirror. And what we're going to do is we're going to remember that Neapolitan ice cream. The chocolate was my matte bronzer. The strawberry was that beautiful, light, natural blush. And then the vanilla of the Neapolitan ice cream is going to be the highlighter. Now, I will say, I am Buddy the Elf. Smiling is my favorite. I've got a lot of crow's feet right over here. Do not put highlighter on your wrinkles. Don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? I mean, you can. Let's be real. There are no rules in makeup, but highlighter brings attention to things. So if you don't want your crow's feet, your wrinkles highlighted, move it a little down. So a lot of people will highlight right up here. My crow's feet go a little far out because I love to smile, okay? So I'm gonna put my highlighter more right here. And I'm just doing a light back and forth. Oh, do you see that? Hello, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love it. You can also put a little bit of it underneath that brow. So if you feel like your eye has gotten a little saggy over time, thanks to gravity or genetics or whatever, you could take a little bit of it right underneath kind of that arch area of your brow and the tail area of it. That also is going to give this gorgeous lift. Do you see that? I mean, I see the light catching. I need to know if you can see it. Can you see that right there? Oh, so pretty. So, so pretty. You can even bring it down a little bit more. A couple other areas that I love to highlight. The down, kind of the center of your nose. This will help if you want your nose to look a little slimmer. Some people like to put it more on that button end of their nose to add a little bit of the cute factor. You can put a little bit on that V. That's called your Cupid's bow of your lip. This will make your lip look fuller. Yes, with makeup you can do a little optical illusion. So you can do it right here. Rachel says, cactus craze. Believe it or not, I actually do not own a Christmas cactus sweater. Rachel, I think I need to find this Christmas cactus sweater for you so that you can get it and add it to your Christmas sweater collection. How do you not own a Christmas cactus sweater? Oh my gosh. Well, know that I am rocking it for you. And I honestly thought of you this morning. I was like, Rachel would love this sweater. Shine bright like a diamond, says Megan. Awesome. So we've got this diamond shining going on. We got a little bit down the center of my nose, which for me, I love. My nose, when I'm under bright light, looks a little wide. To me, if makeup helps me feel a little more confident, then heck yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of this luminizer on it. I like to put a little bit, as I said, right there on the V of my lips. It's going to help catch the light, making it look like I had a little bit of a filler, making it look, you know, a little bit more perky and poutier. So we've got the highlighter here versus you can see there's no highlight here. So that's what it looks like. That's what a highlighter does. Fun little tip for you. When I wear a highlighter, I get complimented on my skin. People think my skin is glowing and healthy and, ooh, did you just have a facial? You look so young, you know, all this kind of stuff. So I'm telling you, if you have been feeling like your skin's looking a little dull, it's not where you want it to be, we may want to, you know, talk about using a little bit of a highlighter. Some people will use it even on the temples right here of their eyes, sometimes a little bit, you know, you might make like a C shape around here. This is where I like to use it. I like to use it right here, top points of the cheekbones, underneath the brow. I sometimes even take a little bit on my pinky and I plop a little bit of it in this inner corner of my eye. That helps kind of catch the light as well. I just make sure that I've got my concealed eyes nice and taken care of before I apply that. There we go. So that just catches the light. I love, love, love this highlighter. It's my first time using it. I know Megan and Bailey, they're on here right now. These are beautiful. So that's my shade Frosty. I'm hoping that they come back into the core line. I'm pretty sure they will. But as I said, you can use your eyeshadows, other highlighters that you have. It just really helps you get that nice youthfulness look to your skin. So this is really kind of the base face that I'm going after. I am going to be recording a separate video right now on a quick eye and lip look, so I'm not going to finish this look right now online here, but stay tuned as I will be having a fun little video pop up either later today or tomorrow with the fun little extra things that I'm doing. Rachel says, I love it. It's so cute. Thank you, Rachel. But I hope that you all are having a great day. If you're like me and you have an errand or two to run, make sure that you listen to some holiday music. You know, call a friend. If the craziness and busyness of this week is stressing you out, remember, like, it's all for a good thing. I don't know, that's kind of what grounds me, you know, when you're stuck in traffic or if people are crabby in line. That's when I just put my earbuds in and I listen to my favorite Christmas songs, or I call a friend, and it just snaps me back into the focus of like why we're here, why we do this, why we gift give, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I hope that you have a great day. Keep your fingers crossed that my kids stay in school for the next day so that I can get these errands done. No quarantine before Christmas, and we will make it through this. All right, my friends, thank you so much for tuning into This Minute with Mary. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk with you soon.